It's been 4 months since the world was robbed of the talented actor Cameron Boyce. He left a legacy and a huge mark, which is why fans will be talking about him for a very long time. Welcome to Riveted, where we'll give the latest updates on what his parents have been up to. Stick around to find out more about epilepsy and how you can make a difference in the world. The Cameron Boyce Foundation was launched in honor of Cameron Boyce by his parents. According to the foundation's website, it provides young people artistic and creative outlets as alternatives to violence and negativity, and uses resources and philanthropy for positive change in the world. The parents also teamed up with the Epilepsy Foundation's SUDEP, Sudden Unexpected Death in Epilepsy, Institute to raise awareness about the disease which took away their son. Since Victor and Libby started the Cameron Boyce Foundation in August, they've learned that more people are going to their physician's office actively seeking education and awareness about epilepsy. The disease affects men and women of all ages, and it can be caused by many factors, including trauma to the head, a stroke, a brain tumor, certain infectious diseases, or electrolyte abnormalities. According to a study, around 1 in 1,000 people in the U.S. die every year from sudden unexpected death in epilepsy. It was so unfortunate that Cameron Boyce was the one to die. In an interview with Good Morning America, Libby revealed that Cameron Boyce had his first seizure when he was 16 and a half. The mission of the Epilepsy Foundation, according to the website, is to lead the fight to overcome the challenges of living with epilepsy and to accelerate therapies to stop seizures, find cures, and save lives. A seizure occurs when there is an abnormal and excessive electrical activity that temporarily interrupts normal brain function. They have also highlighted the 4 most common causes of epilepsy, which are brain trauma, brain stroke, brain tumor, and brain infection. Some other cases might be genetic, immune, metabolic, or in some unknown. It's important to have talks about the disease because the numbers are shocking. 65 million people around the world have epilepsy, and out of those, around 3.4 million are in America. Studies show that 1 in every 26 people in the U.S. will develop epilepsy in their life. Cameron's parents have realized the importance of talking about epilepsy before it's too late. It's unfortunate that the talks usually happen after death, but more people understand that talking about the disease while the affected are still alive could be more beneficial. In a powerful new PSA, Cameron's parents Libby and Victor Boyce, along with other family and friends, came together to shine a light on epilepsy and the risks of SUDEP. Victor and Libby have teamed up with Sally Schaefer, the Institute Director for SUDEP, who also lost her 7-year-old daughter 5 years ago after she suffered a rare form of epilepsy in her sleep. When Schaefer heard about Cameron's story, it resonated with her, and she reached out to the Cameron Boyce Foundation that Victor and Libby began after Cameron's death. In the conversation, Victor said, "We don't want anybody to lose their child to anything, because this feeling, it's just the worst. We want to shine more light on epilepsy, get more funding, get more research, and get more people involved, and we hope that Cameron's reach can do that." Libby, who was also part of the conversation, added, "Every time you think about it, it's just a knife. It's a hole and a knife in your heart." She continued, "We've heard from doctors throughout the country that people are coming in and asking about epilepsy because of Cameron. So that makes us feel good, that maybe everything is not in vain, that maybe people are going to learn more about their disease. We could have had a lot more education, and people need education. We're glad that Cameron is bringing this to the world for people who have epilepsy to check with their doctor and be more assertive and ask them for information. It's a very serious disease." The new PSA features images and a video of Cameron, along with an important message from his parents and friends. People around the world know so little about the disease, which affects thousands of people every year. In addition to seizures, individuals with epilepsy may have to deal with other negative health outcomes, including poorer overall health, a higher risk for accidents and injuries, and side effects from treatments. Sadly, epilepsy is more prevalent than multiple sclerosis, autism spectrum disorders, Parkinson's disease, and cerebral palsy combined. Yet awareness and understanding of epilepsy is very low and far too often ignored. The problem is that there is a lot of stigmatization surrounding epilepsy. Most people avoid talking about it. The Epilepsy Foundation was formed to change this narrative, and so far the foundation is doing a great job as more people like Libby and Victor join the worthy cause. Libby and Victor are not the only people who have teamed up with the foundation to raise awareness about the dangerous disease. The foundation launched the Talk About It public service announcement and encouraged affected people and celebrities to talk about their journey. Actor Greg Grunberg, best known for his roles on Heroes, Alias, and Felicity, partnered with the Epilepsy Foundation in the PSA called Talk About It. Grunberg was starring on the television show Alias when he and his wife Elizabeth noticed that their son Jake was having frequent staring spells. Since Jake's diagnosis, Grunberg has used his celebrity status to raise awareness of epilepsy. Like other families struggling with the condition, the journey has not been easy for them. Jake began having problems with his medications. Sometimes they would work, then he would build up a tolerance to them and have more seizures. Greg is also aware of the stigma surrounding epilepsy, but he encourages his son to shine a light on other people who don't have the courage to talk about the disease. The family is also part of an online community of people living with epilepsy, and their family is called epilepsyadvocate.com. Members participate in live community events all over the country where they speak about their experiences with epilepsy. The website also provides a resource where people can learn about living with epilepsy. Like the Grunberg family, the Boyce family also found a way to raise more awareness about epilepsy. The PSA wraps up with the announcement that the Cameron Boyce Foundation has partnered with the Epilepsy Foundation in the fight to end epilepsy. They launched No SUDEP Now as the partnership between the Cameron Boyce Foundation and Epilepsy Foundation. From the website, the Cameron Boyce Foundation and the Epilepsy Foundation's SUDEP Institute are focused on 3 key goals. Goal number 1, raise awareness, especially among youth and young adults, about epilepsy and the risks of SUDEP. While epilepsy can develop at any age, most cases begin in the young and seniors. Also, epilepsy is vastly misunderstood by the general public. By engaging and educating youth and young adults, they hope to change perceptions of epilepsy for everyone. Goal number 2, provide tools and resources for individuals and families to engage with their healthcare team about reducing the possibilities of SUDEP. Many doctors and other healthcare professionals are reluctant to talk about the more severe risks from epilepsy, including SUDEP. Although rare, knowing that death from epilepsy is possible will help empower individuals and families to take steps necessary to help reduce the risks. And goal number 3, accelerating research to help end SUDEP. Epilepsy is underfunded compared to health conditions with similar or even less prevalence. Improving public awareness of epilepsy and SUDEP will drive more research dollars to help end SUDEP and end epilepsy. Libby and Victor hope that by shedding light on SUDEP, more money will be raised for epilepsy research and the disease will ultimately be ended. It may take a while, but if more people take part in the journey, we may see results very soon. Many people secretly have epilepsy, but we're glad that other people have the courage to talk about it, which is the first step to controlling the disease. It's important for famous people, especially those who are affected by the disease, to talk about it because they have the power to influence people all over the world. Celebrities who've battled with the disease and have openly talked about it include Lil Wayne. In 2013, he was hospitalized when he had a series of seizures. They occurred after shooting a music video, and it was assumed they were brought on by a busy schedule and lack of sleep. After recovering, Lil Wayne opened up in an interview about having multiple seizures throughout his life. Neil Young. He has long lived with epilepsy, and he also has a daughter who inherited the condition. In his memoir, Waging Heavy Peace, he writes about his epilepsy and other medical conditions. He even describes a related medical procedure he underwent years ago. The procedure was eventually banned because it did not help people with epilepsy, but only caused them unnecessary pain. Rick Harrison. Harrison attributes his love of history to the fact that he was forced to spend much of his time as a child inside the house alone. Now, Harrison is giving back by working with the Epilepsy Foundation and helping the organization bring awareness to his home state of Nevada. Susan Boyle, the singer who rose to stardom after participating in Britain's Got Talent, struggled with the condition throughout her childhood. Susan Boyle has talked openly about her disability and how it held her back. Adults in her life told her that the seizures were due to a mental defect, and for years, she believed them. The sad truth is that having seizures may make it more difficult to find a job or do certain types of work. However, the good news is that in the United States, the Americans with Disabilities Act makes it illegal to deny someone a job because of medical condition if they can perform the essential duties of that job. Many people, including Libby and Victor, believe that it's important to fight the stigma surrounding epilepsy, which comes in many forms. It can be people who still believe cruel and untrue myths about epilepsy that make it seem as if the condition is someone's fault or a punishment. Many people also believe that epilepsy is a mental disease without knowing that this narrative is a myth. In many cases, epilepsy by itself is associated with depression, and all of the social limitations worsen the depression because they can't take part in activities like other people. Many indirectly punish those with epilepsy, when in reality, they need a lot of support from their coworkers, family, friends, and the community. It's so unfortunate that kids with epilepsy and other disabilities are more likely to face bullying and discrimination in school. Sometimes parents just have to be there and watch their kid go through a seizure and wait until it stops. Some medications help, but there are risks such as falls or choking during an event that isn't preventable with medication. Social media, though often a very positive influence, could also contribute to the stigma of epilepsy. We all have to be careful about what we post, and one person who knew the dangers of social media was Cameron Boyce. During a speech while accepting an award for his charity work, he said, "It's crazy. We can tweet whenever we want, and we can use social media and Instagram and make the world a better place instead of a worse one, which so many people use it for. We need to use what we have and make the world a better place for other people who need us." The website launched by Libby and Victor reminds the world that epilepsy can affect anyone with a brain, and anyone with a brain can affect epilepsy. November is National Epilepsy Awareness Month, and everyone can take this moment to spread awareness and donate to help those who are affected directly directly and indirectly by the disease. This month, we join hands with Victor and Libby to remember Cameron Boyce. The statement they gave 4 months ago read, Cameron Boyce passed away in his sleep due to a seizure, which was a result of an ongoing medical condition for which he was being treated. The world is now undoubtedly without one of its brightest lights, but his spirit will live on through the kindness and compassion of all who knew and loved him. Cam's spirit definitely lives on, and fans are glad they got the opportunity to meet the kind and loving star. As much as they miss their son, Victor and Libby are finding their purpose in the Cameron Boyce Foundation. They are coping with their loss while making a difference in the community at large. If you want to join hands with Libby and Victor, visit nosudepnow.org for more information on how to get involved with the cause. Thank you for watching the video, and remember to spread awareness in the loving memory of Cameron Boyce. This has been Riveted, and we publish amazing content daily. Subscribe and turn on the notification to always stay up to date.